Yeah, hey guys, it's me again. I've just come from the doctor's. I was with the doctor for a review of my thyroid condition. So I wanted to check in and talk about my my journey with the thyroid disease. So I've had thyroid disease for the past 7 or so years. And this has been moving from hyperthyroidism to hypothyroidism at one point, and then hyper again. And now it's hyper, although it's not very, very serious. It's being managed by the doctors. I'm very, very thankful to my doctors. And today I found out that my T3 and T4 levels are getting to normal, which is really encouraging. Considering that it's been quite a long journey, at one point my levels were extremely high. And actually, at one point, my symptoms were so severe, I thought I was going to die. So I'm in a good place insofar as this condition is concerned. But that's not really what I wanted to talk about. What I wanted to talk about is self-care regarding being consistent in caring for yourself if you're dealing with a chronic disease or just any disease for that matter. Again, there's something I listened to in one of the podcasts that I am a regular, that self-care requires other people to help you care for yourself. So there are people whose work is to care for you, like doctors, nutritionists, all these people who are specialists in one way or another, therapists. All these people, their work is to help you care for yourself. So when I had that, I think it shifted something in my brain, because I was very there are days that I didn't even want to go to the hospital. There are days I would default on my medication because of one reason or another. But then I started taking this condition very, very seriously, and how I approach it and how I care about myself regarding my thyroid. And I think I've seen results from late last year up to now. There's a significant improvement in how my T3 and T4 levels have stabilized. And I think it's got a lot to do with the deliberate intention to care about myself. So I just wanted to check on that. But other than that, I also wanted to encourage anyone who has been or who is dealing with this condition, because it is one of those conditions that is not really talked about as much as other chronic diseases are talked about. And also finding a community can be difficult. Finding somebody who is going through this can be quite hard. And then one of the things I also learned along the way is that when you have severe hyperthyroidism, your symptoms can really put you in a position where people speculate about what you're suffering from, and it can be a difficult place to be in. I remember when my symptoms were really severe and I had not been properly diagnosed, I lost a lot of weight. My weight loss was so drastic, and my eyes, which are naturally hooded, were twice or three times more hooded. And then I had a lot of anxiety and anger, and so many people around me were speculating about what I was suffering from, and it put me in a very difficult position, because at the time I didn't even know what the problem was. So I was also wondering what the problem was. And I realized that when you're dealing with illness, either people don't have information, it's the lack of information, but it's also the lack of awareness of how to approach the person who is dealing with this illness, on how best people can support you. So even people who are well-intentioned may be judgy, may speak behind you, may speculate, but in actual sense, they may not really know how well to support you in that condition. So it was quite a difficult journey for me to navigate, and it's been quite a difficult journey up to this moment. But I think along the way, you get to learn the ropes, you get to learn the condition. The more you read about it, the more you get to know about it, and the more you are able to manage it properly. So I have been very, very aggressive and very intentional about how I deal with this condition. My medication, I religiously take my medication as prescribed. I'm very strict on my diet. Although I've noticed that right now I'm adding weight, which I again need to manage, but then it can be very difficult to manage your weight when you are hyper, because again of the heart palpitations, which make it quite hard for you to work out, do intensive workouts. But all in all, I think I am in a better position right now, and I can only hope for the best, and also looking for community and people who are walking this journey so that we can be able to support one another. So that's all I wanted to talk about for now. Thank you for your attention, and see you again later.